Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's seminar. My name is Pat Dolan, and I'm a lead with the Solutions team here in Redlands, California. Joining me today is Claire Price, who is a solution engineer with the Solutions team, who is also based in Redlands, California. Before we start, Claire Price and I would like your feedback on this seminar. You can tell us what you think by clicking the Give Us Feedback link at the top of this window. You'll see a very short survey with just a few simple questions. Today's seminar will cover how to organize, inspect, and summarize asset inspections for utilities. The format will include a discussion of the topics, software demonstrations, and question and answer session. Please send in your questions during the presentation, and we'll answer as many as we have time for. In addition, a video recording of this seminar will be available on our training site in a few days that you can review and share with others. So let's begin. Well, I'm sure many of you have been in this situation. A request has come in to perform a field inspection, and maps are needed to conduct the inspection. In this example, the utility has plotted out their maps, taped them to the wall, so that they can identify where to conduct the survey. On the lower right, you see a paper document used in the field to collect the survey information. As you know, this paper-based field inspection process is still very common within the industry. However, it comes with its own set of challenges. First is trying to keep the information on the paper maps up to date. As we know, the minute the map is printed, it's out of date. Second, is the information on the paper map correct? We've all been in situations where the content on the map is incorrect and it creates confusion in the field. Better yet, the field teams have their own version of the paper maps with markups that they've been collecting for years that never get back to the office, so information is trapped in the backseat of the field trucks. Finally, getting the paper maps out to the field can be very labor intensive, especially if you need to create a brand new set of map books for the field. So the goal is to modernize this process. Technology today allows us to take these maps and deploy them on ruggedized devices, allowing crews to have the most up-to-date, accurate, and timely information. Yet modernizing workflows comes with a price. User adoption is one of the most challenging aspects of deploying a mobile solution. Field crews have enough challenges getting their job done that they don't need another task that's difficult to complete. So the solution needs to streamline the workflow, not make it more challenging. Then there's training. The solution needs to be as intuitive as possible. One way to do this is to use devices that people use on a daily basis. Finally, the solution needs to be cost-effective. You want to leverage your existing infrastructure as much as possible to minimize the deployment costs. The ArcGIS platform enables you to overcome these challenges by leveraging your existing GIS content and making it available across the organization on devices people commonly use, such as tablets and phones, all done in a secured environment. Today, we'll showcase how you can use the ArcGIS for Utility templates to jumpstart your asset inspections and streamline how information is shared between the field and the office and across your organization. Let's begin by first outlining the common utility inspection workflow. Step 1 is organizing the information needed for inspections. For rather than pointing out or printing out maps, we organize our GIS data needed for the field and publish that to our mapping portal. This allows field crews to sign in and access the information on their device and conduct the inspection. This also allows managers to see the same information to monitor and track progress, enabling them to prioritize work and help ensure compliance. These three steps are common across electric, gas, water, sewer, and storm industries. In fact, we've packaged up 8 asset inspection templates that follow this common pattern that you can download today. We'll cover those templates at the end of today's presentation. For now, we're going to apply this workflow for the hydrant inspections, where we need to organize the hydrant data stored in GIS, deploy to the field, and make available for management to track and monitor progress. The applications we'll be showcasing for this workflow include ArcMap to organize the data and publish to our ArcGIS Online organizational site. Then we'll use Collector to conduct the inspections, and we'll use the operational dashboard to track and monitor progress. Let's break down the first step, organize. organizing data is broken down into 3 tasks: prioritize, publish, and share. For hydrant inspections, we prioritize by identifying the hydrants that need to be inspected based off of their geographic location. We then publish the results to our organizational site and share that content with specific users within our organization. So rather than talk about this, I'm going to turn it over to Claire to demonstrate how to accomplish these tasks. Claire?
Thanks, Pat. To begin organizing GIS data for hydrant inspections, I'm going to use an application most of you will be familiar with, ArcMap. To create my hydrant inspection map, I'm using Esri's topographic base map. Having already signed into ArcMap, I've also added my water network map service. Additionally, I've added my hydrants and hydrant inspection table from a file geodatabase to the map. To better understand my hydrants, I've symbolized them by operability. Though I have this map view of hydrants, I'm still presented with a spatial problem. I need to be able to easily identify priority hydrants. In this case, I'm defining priority hydrants as hydrants within 300 feet of a critical facility, such as a school or medical center. To solve this problem, I can use a geoprocessing model. In this model, I'm creating a feature layer from all operable hydrants. I'm also filtering my facilities layer to include only schools and hospitals, and buffering these features by 300 feet. From there, I can select all operable hydrants that are within this critical facility buffer. These features are then added to a new feature layer, the priority inspection output. After the model is run, the prioritized hydrant inspection layer is added to my map. I'm now able to easily view where these priority inspections are. Having prioritized, I can now publish this service to my ArcGIS organization. Before publishing, I will remove the topographic base map, and I'm also going to remove my water network map service, since this is already a shared service in my organization. When I share as a service, because I'm connected to my ArcGIS organization, I can share this as a hosted service. Additionally, I'm able to add connection to another ArcGIS server. Because users will be editing this data, I'm going to enable feature access versus tiled mapping. I'm going to enable the create, delete, and update operations. And in order for field crews to take this data offline, I'm going to enable the sync operation. You'll notice that my item description has been automatically filled out. This is done by using the map document properties of my hydrant inspection MXD. Finally, within the service editor, I'm also able to select groups within my organization to share this service with. Having published my service, I can log on to my ArcGIS organization to begin to create the maps and apps for my hydrant inspection workflow. I've signed into my organization, Mercator Water, and right from the home page, I'm able to see some key maps and apps that are used in my utility. This includes the water and stormwater network viewers, as well as a mobile application, the Water Isolation Trace, which can be used by field crews in the event of a main break to determine which valves to shut off and which customers and hydrants are affected by the shutoff. I also have a public-facing application, my outage viewer. This allows the community the utility serves to view any planned or unplanned outages throughout the service area. To access my published service, I'm going to navigate to my content. From here, you can see the feature service I've just published. This information, such as the summary and descriptions, are automatically carried over from the published service. I've begun to create a web map to conduct hydrant inspections. This map is focused on a specific end user, field crews conducting hydrant inspections. Because of this, rather than enabling all of these fields in the pop-up for the user, I'm going to configure the pop-up so field crews view a description from one field. In this case, the facility ID. I'll then save the pop-up and save the map. The final step before users can begin to inspect hydrants with this map is to share it. Because the end user is field crews, I'm going to select the Field and Facilities Maintenance group. Now, members of this group are able to access the hydrant inspection map. This group also includes some key maps and apps to help field crews do their work. This includes maps to view network assets and maps for redlining and map change requests. Having prioritized inspections, published and shared the service and map, field crews can use this map on their device to conduct hydrant inspections. Pat?
Thanks, Claire. To recap, Claire used geoprocessing to prioritize the hydrant inspections. The geoprocessing model identified the hydrants that were near critical facilities, such as schools and hospitals, which created the list of priority inspections. Then, she published the results as a feature service and created a web map. Creating the web map enabled her to organize what information would be accessible in the inspection map. She then configured the pop-up for the hydrants in the web map to provide only the information the field crews need during the inspection. The goal is to make sure field crews only update required information. Finally, she shared the web map with the field survey group so that specific users within her organization can access the inspection maps. So before we continue on, let's open it up for a few questions. First question, Nick from New York. Is there a template for utility poles? Good question, Nick. There is, actually. We're going to cover that at the end of this presentation when we cover ArcGIS for electric. Mary from Baltimore asks, can we modify the models to suit our needs? Claire?
Yes. All the geoprocessing models that we provide with the ArcGIS for Utility Solutions can be modified for your workflows and your utility.
Another question coming in, does the hydrant inspection data need to be hosted in ArcGIS online, or can I keep the data on my local server? That's a great question. Yes, you can actually publish your hydrant inspection data to your local server. When Claire published the service from ArcMap, she had the option to publish to ArcGIS Online as a hosted service or to her local server. Another question coming in. Claire, why did you not use create tiles? You use feature service.
Because I wanted users to be able to edit the data, I published as a feature service. For something like the water network, where you don't want users editing, you can use tiled access. Great.
Jen from Greeley, Colorado asks, can I share to multiple groups?
Yes. When sharing an item, you have the option of sharing with everyone, your ArcGIS organization, or any number of groups within your org.
So now you can share that inspection map not only to the field crews, but also to other departments.
Correct.
Great. All right, let's continue on. The second step of the workflow is inspection. Now, we traditionally focus a majority of our time and effort on this phase. There are essentially three tasks to this process: locate, inspect, and update. First, we need to locate the hydrant to inspect. Then, we need to conduct the inspection. Finally, we need to record and update our findings on the local device and sync them back to the office. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Claire once again to demonstrate how to accomplish these tasks. Claire?
Thanks, Pat. On my iPhone, I have installed the Collector for ArcGIS application. This is a freely available app for iOS and Android devices. I've signed in as a member of the Field and Facility Maintenance Group, and I can now view all maps that are shared with this group. This includes maps such as the map change request and map notes. These maps are designed to allow users to add information about the service area and GIS data. Additionally, I have the hydrant inspection map that I've created. Because I had enabled sync when publishing the hydrant inspection service, I have the ability to take this map offline. When I view information about this map, I'm presented with the summary as well as a description that includes information and steps for how the user can interact with this map. You'll notice that when I open this map, the map view is automatically centered on my current location. This is because GPS is enabled with the app and on my device. And rather than using GPS, though, I can use an asset locator to search for and zoom to one of my hydrants. From here, I have the ability to collect new data. I can also get directions from my current location to this asset. Right now, though, I want to see additional details about this hydrant. You'll notice that my pop-up is limited to the facility ID. And now, with the release of the 10.3 Collector for ArcGIS, I have the ability to view and create new hydrant inspections. When I view my hydrant inspections, I can view all historic records. In this case, I can see this hydrant has been inspected in January 2014 and March 2013. My next step to complete this inspection is to add the actual inspection record. This inspection is going to be stored in my related table. I can update the PSI, as well as update any of the fields within this record, such as, yes, paint is required, and, yes, this hydrant is stamped. These fields are created using domains on each field to limit the number of options a user has. Additionally, I'm able to add just some general notes about the hydrant and its condition. In addition to notes, I have the ability to add a photo attachment. The final piece in being able to share the information about priority hydrant inspections with my entire organization is editing the priority inspections layer. I can simply mark that this inspection has in fact happened. When I hit update, this information was automatically added back to the feature service. This means that my organization will have access to this information in real time in all the maps and apps that consume the hydrant inspection service. Pat?
Great. Thanks, Claire. So to recap, Claire used the Collector app to log into her organizational site to access her inspection map. When she opened the hydrant inspection map, she was able to locate a specific hydrant to inspect using the asset locator. This is a key capability when trying to locate a specific inspection while in the field. Now, you could always use GPS to locate your current position and find the nearest hydrant to inspect. Next, Claire created a new inspection using Related Table. This is a new capability of Collector, allowing you to create a new record for an asset without having to create a new feature. We can now track and associate all the inspections per asset. Finally, Claire showed the ability to go offline, which copies your inspection and base map content to your local device. As we know, this is a key requirement when conducting field inspections. There are times when you have to go offline due to lack of connectivity in the field. The good news is once you are connected to the network, you can sync your changes back to the office. So let's take another break and open up for a few questions. All right, we have a question from Matthew from Burbank. How do you configure this with your own data set? That's a great question, Matthew. We'll cover in a little bit how you can download this specific template. But the short answer is that when you download this template, it's designed so that you can point it to your data set, your hydrants, and extend the schema to do the same workflow that Claire did. You can also then add additional inspection variables as well. Next, question from Tom in Seattle. What happens when a field crew enters the wrong information that gets published? Now, that's a great question. The question always comes down to the quality assurance being done and how do you manage that from the office. Well, in this case, you'll notice in the template that we provide, we try to create all the fields as domains. In other words, valid value pick list. However, we know there's going to be times where information isn't captured correctly because there's confusion or it's just the wrong information. So when that information is posted back to your central server, you can always go back and change that and make modifications. Another question coming in, does my map need to be shared with a group in order for the field crews to access it? Claire?
Having signed into Collector, you have access to any map that has been shared with you, whether it's through a single group, an organization, or a map you've published yourself.
Great. Another question coming in, John from Sacramento asks, does Collector work for Windows? Oh, that's another great question. You know, today Collector for ArcGIS is available today on the iOS and Android platform and supports both phones and tablets. Esri is currently working in development of a Collector on the Microsoft platform and will be releasing support for touchscreen Windows and tablets and phones. So more to come. Another question coming in, do you get to see or approve the edits? That's another good question because a lot of issues going back to that other question about quality assurance is that when you do set up your deployment pattern, you could have it set up to a version database, which allows you, once the edit's been applied, you could take a look at that specific version, approve them, apply them, update them, and then accept them. A couple more questions before we go back. Oh, another good one coming in, Claire. How did you create the asset locating service?
I created the asset locating service based on one of our ArcGIS for utility templates. Pat's going to go over how to, again, find this, but the short answer was I used our template to create a address locator and published as a geocoding service to my server.
Great. Another question coming in. Can I still use 10.2.2 desktop with the latest release of Collector to record related records?
If you can use ArcGIS 10.2.2 desktop to publish a hosted feature service. In fact, I've been using 10.2.2 to publish my services and maps.
Great. And one more question. Can I edit and create lines and polygons in Collector?
Yes, you're able to create lines, polygons, points, and as I've showed, related records within a table.
Great. Thanks, Claire. Let's continue on. The third step of the workflow is summarize. This is where we want to see all of the inspections done in the field to help understand the status and priorities of work. There are essentially three tasks to this process. monitor, analyze, and prioritize. We first need to monitor the results coming in from the field. Then we need to analyze the results to identify patterns and trends to provide us insight into the conditions of the facilities. Finally, we need to prioritize the next day's activities by reviewing the status of work and progress being made in the field. So once again, I'm going to turn it over back to Claire to demonstrate how to accomplish those tasks. Claire?
Thanks, Pat. As data is being collected in the field, it's important for operations managers to have access to this. This information is going to be key in order to make decisions. Using ArcGIS Online, this data is used in a web map to monitor and analyze hydrant inspections and their assets. In my hydrant analysis web map, I've added my inspection service. Right now I have a view of all priority inspections. In order to view only those that have in fact been inspected, I can add a filter. Additionally, as I used an asset locator in ArcGIS Collector, I can also search for assets within my web map. Here I can see my hydrant, as well as the number of inspection records. I can also open all of my hydrant inspections within the table. Here you can see the inspection that I just completed. In the web map, I also have the ability to perform analysis. One simple analysis I can do is a summarization of inoperable hydrants within fire districts. This analysis is going to allow operations managers to view this information about their network and assets in a web map. This information can also be shared with some key stakeholders throughout the service area, such as fire departments. When complete, the results are added to the map and is symbolized using proportional symbols. Right now, I'm viewing all of this analysis and information in ArcGIS Online. However, I can view this same web map in another application, Operations Dashboard for ArcGIS. Like the Collector for ArcGIS app, this is freely available. I can use Ops Dashboard in a web browser to view my web map along with some additional widgets. For example, I can view a count of the number of inoperable hydrants within my service area. I can also view my analysis results in another way. In this case, I'm viewing a bar chart. I can now very simply view that Fire District 1 has the most inoperable hydrants, in this case 20 inoperable hydrants. I viewed this in a web browser, but I'm also able to view this same application in the desktop application. I've also created some widgets for my priority hydrant inspections, including a list widget here and a gauge widget showing the number of hydrants remaining. In this case, 63 high priority inspections are remaining. So within this desktop application, that I can edit this operational view and add additional widget panels and widgets. Additionally, using this desktop application, I can begin to create and share dashboards for other inspection workflows and for stakeholders throughout my utility. Pat?
Great. Thanks, Claire. To recap, Claire first monitored the results by creating a filter in the web map to view only inoperable hydrants, enabling managers to see current operation status of the hydrants. Next, Claire used ArcGIS Online spatial analysis tools to determine the number of inoperable hydrants per fire district. This provides managers a better understanding of which fire districts are the most impacted by the status of the hydrants. Finally, Claire used the operational dashboard to communicate the results using graphs and lists within the operational dashboard, enabling managers to prioritize the next day of activities based off the status of the field inspections. Claire also highlighted that the operational dashboard can be accessed via a web browser, or you can download the desktop version. All right, let's take another break and open up for a few questions. First question coming in from Toledo: how do you add additional content to the operational dashboard? Oh, that's a great question. The operational dashboard is based off a specific web map. So Claire created a web map for hydrant inspections. She then configured the operational dashboard to use that web map. Now, if you want to add additional content to the operational dashboard, you simply open up that web map, add your content, save the web map, and that information will automatically appear in the operational dashboard. Another question coming in, can you edit features in the operational dashboard? Oh, we get that question a lot. The answer is no, because the operational dashboard is designed for viewing and monitoring events. However, if you needed to edit the data that is being shown in the operational dashboard, you can always open up the web map and edit that content if you have permissions. Another question coming in, Ed from Los Angeles: can you track who made the edits? Claire?
Yes, for all my feature services, I had enabled editor tracking. By doing this, a record of who and when the events were created and modified are going to be associated with each edit.
Great. Another question coming in, Claire, for you: am I able to apply multiple filters on my records?
Yes, I applied one filter when I filtered my priority inspection layer, but I could have added a number of records or that would be either to filter the layer so that I can, based on the fields and filter set.
Great. Another question coming in: can I use version data offline? That's another great question because we get that quite a bit as well. Yes, viewing version data is supported with ArcGIS 10.2.2 for server. In order to edit the version data offline, you will need ArcGIS 10.3 for server. All right, one last question before we continue on. Oh, are these templates free? The answer is yes, these templates are free, and I'll cover how you can access those in just a minute. Okay, well, we've covered a lot of information in a short period of time, so let's take a moment to review the entire workflow. We used ArcMap to organize our GIS content and publish the hydrant information to our organizational site. Then, we share the hydrant inspection web map to specific groups within our organization. This allowed field crews to access this information on their mobile device using Collector. As the hydrant inspections took place, managers could monitor the progress and identify trends using the operational dashboard. By using the ArcGIS platform, you can modernize the way your organization conducts asset inspections and provide up-to-date, accurate, and timely information across your entire organization. Now, if you're interested in implementing this hydrant inspection workflow at your company, please visit ArcGIS for Water's utility site. This is where you can download the same template Claire used to jumpstart her hydrant inspection implementation. So let's take a quick look. We'll begin by going to solutions.arcgis.com. When you come to the site, you'll be able to scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see the 8 focus areas that we provide solutions for: local government, state government, emergency management, military, intelligence, telecommunications, parks and gardens, and utilities, where we've been focusing our time. When you click on the utility link, it will take you to ArcGIS for Utilities. Here we've even grouped them even further into water, electric, and gas. Let's take a quick tour of ArcGIS for Water. When you click on the ArcGIS for Water link, that'll give you an overview of all the focus templates we have for the water area. Now, one of the things I like to start off with is the foundational solutions. Now, the reason we've grouped this as foundational solutions is that this really helps jumpstart your deployment of ArcGIS. This allows you to we provide common maps that a water company would post, whether it's on the distribution side, sanitary side, stormwater, as well as providing you tools to help you set up your own asset locator, the same asset locator that Claire used in Collector. We also provide a model organization that you can download. Now, what does this do? Well, what it does is it has scripts that automatically create groups within your organization, as well as register online content that's relevant to an organization such as a water company. So I encourage you to take a look at this first area so you can see how you can kind of jumpstart setting up your own mapping portal. Next, we have a series of very focused areas, whether it's maintaining your assets, responding to emergencies, improving planning, and the area that we've been focusing a majority of our time is optimized field operations. When you click on Learn More, you'll see all the different inspection workflows we provide. One is focused on inspecting backflow preventers, as well as investigating water leaks, and then the one that Claire highlighted today, maintain fire hydrants. If you want to learn more about a specific template, just click Learn More, and this will provide you an overview page, giving you a description of what the solution does, as well as a link to download the template. So this is the only thing you need to download the template is your Esri Global ID, probably the same global ID you used to log in for this webinar. Next, we give you a description of what's required to run the solution, what version it was designed for and can be used for. We also give you a description of what you get. In this case, this particular template, we provide a sample map document and a sample geodatabase. Now, why do we do that? Well, we want you to be able to emulate the same workflow that we have designed it for, set it up in your own environment, and then you can take that template and then point it to your data set. Finally, as you know, we work hard trying to make sure that these templates are up to date, as well as apply new suggestions we get from the community, such as you. You'll notice that there is a recent update to this template posted back in February, where we're able to incorporate the new related tables capability with Collector. Now, if this is a template that you're interested in implementing, all you need to do now is click Get Started. So after you've downloaded the zip file, this will walk you through how to go ahead and publish the services, the same process that Claire had showed earlier in the webinar, then how to create the web map and share it with your organization. Now, for many in the utilities, you're probably going to be interested in, rather than publishing it online, you may want to publish it to your local server. So here you can click on this link, and it will walk you through all the steps to post this on your local server. Now, we also have solutions focused for ArcGIS for electric. We follow that same pattern. We have a foundational solution grouping where, once again, we provide you with a model organization that's designed for electric utility, as well as registering online content that's relevant to an electric utility. We also provide a sample asset locator that's designed to focus on finding specific electric equipment, as well as providing you a sample electric map that you would publish throughout your organization. And just like water, we have other templates focused on specific areas. Maintain Utility Assets is really focused on ensuring data quality. One of the new templates that was released is Data Reviewer for Electric. So as you continue to add more data and enhance your data model, this is a great link for you to take a look at and see if you could use Data Reviewer to improve the overall quality of your electrical network. Now, one of my favorite areas for the electric is the storm response. Over the past year, we've been working with customers to better understand how they can use ArcGIS to better improve their response to storms. So we've provided templates that help with the damage assessment in the field, as well as monitor that assessment from an operational point of view, as well as setting up a template where you can bring in information coming in from social media so you can see what your citizens are saying about the response or how the storm is impacting them. Now, one of the interesting templates that came out of this is when we worked with a customer who said, is there ability for us to report hazards in the field? So Claire and I sat back and we said, you know what, it's the exact same workflow that we did today for hydrant inspections. So we developed a simple template that allows someone to go out, specifically the field crew, to denote any hazards while they're in the field, and that information will automatically come back to the operational managers. We also provided a template that allows you to then configure it with the GeoEvent processor. so we can then automate emails or notifications if the hazard is at a particular level of severity. And then one of the areas that you may be interested in considering is we've been talking about reacting to the storm, but we also have models that help you do pre-storm planning, such as a storm vulnerability assessment model. It allows you to run a model to assess what sections along the electrical network will be impacted during an event. And one of the questions came up, is there something for electric for inspections? This is where you want to take a look at the joint use survey. This is where we worked with a customer to understand how they conducted joint use surveys, and we've provided a solution that you can download today that helps you go out, do that pole inspection, as well as integrated with GeoEvent Processor to notify any of safety violations while conducting the survey. We have the same pattern for ArcGIS for gas. For those of you in the gas industry, once again, I encourage you to take a look at the foundational solutions for gas. We follow that same pattern where we provide a model organization along with specific maps that you would want to publish, as well as a gas asset locator. And for the gas side, I would encourage you to take a look at modernizing leak surveys. This is a template that we put out last year, focused on the same pattern that Claire showed today, the ability to go ahead and organize your leaks, publish them to do the inspection, and then summarize that information. In fact, we're going to be releasing a collector version of the leak survey later this year. And those of you who work in ArcGIS for telecommunications, we have templates focused on wireless, wireline, and cable. And to wrap up the tour here, when you go to ArcGIS for utilities, one of my favorite links, quite honestly, is documentation. When you click on this link, you'll get a summary of all the different templates that are designed for utilities. I believe we have over 70 templates out there today to support this particular market. And if you want to see what's new, just click on the Learn More under What's New, and you'll see all the new updates per month. In fact, our release cycle is on a monthly basis. We're actually having our next release is going to be next week, April 23rd. So I encourage you to come back to the site next week and you'll see what the new items are on the solution site. All right, so the solution site is a great place to get started, but to keep the conversation going, we hope to see you at the Esri User Conference in July. A great opportunity to meet with your peers and with Esri staff to learn and share success stories. Also, the annual Esri Electric and Gas GIS Conference will be held in Providence, Rhode Island in October this year. We'll be hosting another hands-on learning lab where you can download, configure, and deploy the solution templates and provide us feedback on the workflows and the enhancements you need for your organization. And the second annual Esri Water Conference will be held next year in February. Sites and dates are pending. Now, for those who are in the local government, please join Esri Meetup for local government. Chance for you to collaborate with your peers on GIS and local government issues. Finally, recommend you visit Esri's training site at training.esri.com to learn more about the applications we showcased today. There are great online courses to learn more about using Collector and configuring the operational dashboard. As I mentioned at the beginning of the hour, Claire Price and I would appreciate your feedback on this seminar. Please click the Give Us Feedback link at the top of the window to answer a few simple questions. We hope you enjoyed today's seminar. On behalf of Esri, I would like to thank you all for attending.